time, we'd like to ask the senior parents to make their way out to the 30-yard line onto the field. For our senior night recognition. Before we begin the senior night ceremony, we just want to acknowledge the fact that we have these young men, these student athletes who worked so hard this year, not only on the field, but in school as well. And their hard work has paid off. But not only that, as you can see on the field, the people standing across from these players are the family, the parents, siblings, and they are there to support the players. So let's give the parents and family a big round of applause to these senior athletes. And as we get ready, we will go in numerical order by jersey number. I will call out the player and give a little bit of information about that player and invite the family to come out to the 35-yard line, and we will have somebody taking pictures. The person who's taking the photos, I guess is a few, okay. So make sure to turn the right direction. So as we begin our senior night ceremony here, first we welcome number 3, Captain Michael Scowron. Michael is our quarterback and defensive end. His favorite football memory, Coach bringing us down for the first time his freshman year, he says. Tonight, his family members in attendance, Mom Ellen, Dad Mike, Sister Megan, and Brother Brandon. Let's hear it for the Scowrons. Next, number 5, Captain Sam Grondin.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome here to the campus of St. Thomas Aquinas High School here in Dover, New Hampshire, as we get set for this epic Division II football matchup here in Week 8 of the season. Hello, everyone. Dan Salter alongside Greg Sanborn. And Greg, we look at things here going into this matchup. Playoff implications are huge. St. Thomas comes in 5-2. They're tied with Sanborn, who Plymouth plays next week. We'll get to that in a minute as well. Plymouth entering 6-1 atop the East Division. And again, for those of you who don't know, the top in each conference in Division II get that 1 and 2 seed, and then the next 6 on points, despite what conference you are in will make the playoffs. So Plymouth, they've got a hard second half of the season, and it's going to be a big test here tonight against the Saints.
Yeah, absolutely. This is the measuring stick here, right? You got through the some of the easier games. You've had a couple tests early on. You saw yourself how you measure against Sauhegan. Big game tonight with Sauhegan and Pelham down in the West. So interesting to see how that comes out. And so here you are, your last 2 weeks, 2 big weeks here against 2 playoff opponents. Let's see how we stack up. This is it's going to be a fun football game. Both teams, Plymouth, the last one in the East with only 1 loss, so St. Thomas definitely wants to get them that second loss here, getting ready for playoffs.
And again, the point scenario is just kind of all over the place. We won't really have a clearer picture until next weekend's competitions in Week 9 because of the crossover with the point system and that when you go play East versus West in that one game during the year. But Plymouth, if they win out here today and next week on Senior Day, they have a pretty good chance, really almost 50-50, of being the top seed despite that blowout loss to Sauhegan, depending on how that game goes tonight and next week goes. If not, they're already a playoff team. They're already getting ready for that. They've locked up a playoff berth, but they are trying to hold on to the top of Division II, or in the East Conference of Division II, I should say, and it's just going to be a barn burner. And really, we look at both of these teams, Greg, both are power running teams. Thought the rain was going to happen. It's misty right now, getting a little foggy. Beautiful night for football, nevertheless, but this is going to be just the old grudge match here. What do you think?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just walking in here, that the rain's pretty well stopped. So good thing for Plymouth. Ball control issues have been a problem earlier on the season. So can't have those mistakes in a game like tonight. Looking at these teams size-wise, they match up really well. So it's going to be a complete battle in the trenches. And again, points are going to be at a premium here, right? When you drop one of these 2 games and you fall into that tie with points, looking at Pelham and Sauhegan's output in the West as far as points, not many lulls on their offensive production. So got to have Plymouth come out firing all cylinders. Luke Diamond has been stellar the last couple of weeks. Love to see him continue to throw the ball the way he has been.
We'll see what he could do. We talk about Plymouth stats going into tonight. Luke Diamond, as you mentioned, 23 for 38 on the season, 618 yards, 11 touchdowns. Commentators' curse probably coming, but no interceptions on the season. And he has really allowed the offense to kind of spread out. You've got that separation. You're allowed to get deep. We saw Robbie Thorne's 40-yard touchdown pass last week, an absolute highlight, just dropping a dime into his pocket. But that brings off that pressure of the secondary where there's linebackers, and it allows that running game to open that's been so deadly for Plymouth this year.
Yeah, and absolutely. But they set that throw up off the run. With that offensive line they've got this year, they're running the ball effectively. Teams have to bring those guys down the box to try and stop that run game. And the play action, again, from the backs and Luke selling that play action has really got these guys in good open field positions. So the interceptions haven't really been a concern because the guys are wide open. So as long as they can continue to set the throws up off these play action plays, I see good things continue to happen. But it starts right inside on the offensive line. Zach Carter at 63 has just been an animal this year inside. Really, running behind him. So if they can come out and they can control the offensive line, get that run going, I think by second quarter you're going to see some of them throwing lanes opening up for Luke, and that's ideally what Plymouth is looking for.
And talking with Coach Sanborn earlier this evening when the team arrived before going on air, he was, I've asked him, what is the key? And it's going to be in the trenches that we talked about. It's going to be how can Plymouth's defensive line slow down that run? It looks like what we've seen from stats in our kind of prep for the week that St. Thomas has a lot more two-way players on the line than Plymouth. Plymouth has some more depth, which keeps them fresher. So Plymouth, I feel, really has to grind that offensive line down for St. Thomas to really put kind of a stamp on tonight.
Yeah, and I think the benefit, I guess the benefit for Plymouth is the underclassmen. They've got size and they've got talent on the younger level for the linemen. So they're not making these seniors and juniors really wear down. Offensively, they're sticking with the starters most of the time, but defensively, you're going to be able to rotate 2 and 3 lines in there, and you're keeping these guys fresh, which that wears down on offense when they're not getting that break, and you guys are getting 2 or 3 snaps, getting your breather, coming back out. It really wears down an offensive line throughout the game. So big minutes from underclassmen is going to continue to be important in these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, we look at things on the other side of the field for St. Thomas, take nothing away from them. They've been on fire here as of late. 3 straight wins, 3 blowout wins as well. The most they've given up is 12 points in that game. I know you're going to pull up the, maybe on the phone. Well, we'll pull it back up over here. The games for them recently have been just stellar. We look at them, a 55-12 win here at home against Pembroke. Then you go up to Laconia, 35-6. You take on Bow here at home, 18-9 win. It was a good battle on that night. Again, weather always is playing a factor here at the end of the season. But these are the teams that Plymouth kind of blew out at the beginning of the year, but it's giving St. Thomas a lot of momentum going into the second half of the season, heading towards the playoffs. And you've got to look at the likes of Tim Avery and Sam Grondin leading the way in rushing. Same with Trent Salyards, all over 300, 350 yards this season. And that's a 3-headed monster that Plymouth has got to really try to control.
Yeah, and Chris has made that defense, I'm sure, well aware of those stats, but he's looking at that Pelham and that Kennett game. I'm sure going over what they did against this team. Pelham holding the 0 points. Obviously, Pelham's a top-tier team, and Kennett only allowing 7. So, those are the games Chris is looking at going, what did they do to slow this offense down? And that's what they're going to try and adjust to. Obviously, you're going to come down here. They're going to throw the football. You're going to be ready for that. Our secondary has been suspect some weeks, but I'm sure this whole week they've more than covered taking that pass away. And again, we'll go back to it. It's Plymouth football. Control the trenches. That offensive line gets pressure. They stop the run. It makes everything hard down the field. So it's going to start on both sides of the line in the trenches tonight for Bobcats.
Again, as we were going on the air, and if you've been watching on social media, on our YouTube channel or Facebook, you saw the senior night ceremony for the seniors for St. Thomas, so congratulations to them, and also one of the seniors to watch out for, Michael Scowron, the quarterback here, passer rating of only 59.3, but he's got 264 yards, so he can air it out, and Plymouth's got to be careful in that secondary.
Yeah, not only just his throwing yards, 180 yards rushing. So dual threat, right? I mean, you can't I don't know if Chris is going to have an inside linebacker, whoever's spying him, but you can't get lost in pass coverage and forget where he is, because if he gets out of that contain, he's dangerous with his legs. So looking for a big night out of him.
Yeah, and if you look at things, that's really more of the common trend since the Michael Vick era of these mobile quarterbacks. We see it in the National Football League now, a lot more in the college, especially Division I level, and it's filtering to high school that you have to be that two-headed sword as a quarterback to give yourself another option on the attack. And Plymouth traditionally hasn't had that role.
Yeah. No, yeah. Typically we don't throw the ball a lot. So, we have a rushing attack, and that's what we like to pride ourselves on is being the grittier, tougher team. We've been boasting all season the running back stables here, and St. Thomas has the same thing. You're looking down at this sheet; they've got six running backs on here. 5 of them all over 100 yards in the season, well over 100. So they're not going to get worn down at that running back position either. So it'll be interesting to see which team gets worn down first. Late in the season, attrition starts to be an issue. So who holds out longer? To them, this is big for playoffs, so they've got plenty to play for. Chris wants to finish off the season in the right direction, so it's going to be a good game.
So we'll see what happens. Captains are now meeting at midfield.
Our officials for the game.
Plymouth in their road Navy blue uniforms, white numbers, white pants. It just gets, I know Halloween's just around the corner, but it has that feeling. You can't really see it, doesn't do it justice. We'll try to show you can see some of the mist from our GoPro camera, the field cam, and it just kind of has that spooky kind of feel to tonight.
So coming in here, the fog setting in, the St. Thomas field kind of sets down in a little bit. So from the road with the lights, it's pretty eerie. We're going by, so it's a nice Halloween setting. Obviously, I don't know if you can hear the announcer going over breast cancer, cancer awareness. It's month of October, so a lot of the kids out there sporting pink in support of it. It's nice to see.
So Plymouth did win the kick and will receive. They want to get out early. Teams are ready to go. We're going to turn it over to public address announcer for the national anthem.
And now, we ask you to please rise, remove your hats or helmets, turn your attention to the American flag to the left of our field house, as St. Thomas Aquinas High School honors our nation. Singing our national anthem tonight are seniors on this senior night from St. Thomas Aquinas High School.
There we have, great job. Try to get things figured out here. Great rendition of the national anthem by the students here. Again, we apologize for the audio issues. We're going to try to fix that for you as best as we can. Always something, Greg. Always something before we go on air.
Yeah, at least we got cell service here, Wi-Fi, right? We're not dealing with that like at home.
We're not sitting in the truck as well in the pouring rain.
Yeah, that's nice. That was beautiful accommodations down here. Got to give that to St. Thomas for sure.
Getting ready to go.
Mist is getting a little thick right now, just in time for game time.
So clock camera not working at the moment, but kick is up and underway. Grabbed inside the 10, and Mansu gets out to about the 25, and that's where Plymouth will go to work here in their first drive of the game.
Mansu on the return.
Looks like we are losing the clock camera for right now.
First and 10 for the Bobcats from their 25.
So we're going to fix some stuff here for you. So first down and 10 here for Plymouth. Handoff left side. And gain of about a couple there, Greg.
Yeah, good defense by number 14 there on St. Thomas. He was able to close down that edge and make the tackle. That's Andrew Ramirez, looks like. Be able to set the edge and didn't let our running back get outside. So play one in the trenches, give it to St. Thomas. St. Thomas coming out in the forefront, it looks like. So conducive to the offense. We'll see what they can do with it.
Diamond under center. Play action, he'll roll out and actually hand off up the middle there. Might have come loose for a second. And it did! St. Thomas has recovered the ball.
Yeah, there it is, exactly what we talked about in pregame. We got to control that football. Plymouth's had problems with it in the past. You know, wet weather, wet ball, and it bites them early right here on their own. Looks like their own 26, 27-yard line.
Put him at the 29, but nevertheless, still not the start that you want if you're Plymouth. And turnovers on fumbles, on handoffs, on exchanges, on the runs up the middle have been a problem at times this year.
Yep, and it's tough when it rears its head that early, especially this deep in your own zone. So let's see what the defense can do coming out here with the backs against the wall.
Scourin will hand it off right side. Solid yards, gets dragged down, maybe a gain of a couple on the play. Looks, trying to see who was in there. It was Liam Shannon, I believe, number 83, in on the tackle.
Yeah, just 2 yards there. They got the edge, but the corner was able to come up and help out. That's a great slide over and reaction from the linebackers making that tackle, going keeping it to a yard. Definitely a lot of speed side to side there. So he gets the edge. That could be trouble.
So 2nd and 9 from the Bobcat 28-yard line. Oh, and Plymouth caught jumping on the line, trying to see who it was. Believe it was Tyler Dekutowski, number 55, who was caught jumping.
Yeah, I think that's who they're going to get.
So he will be subbed out. We'll see Tyler Medeiros come in for him. So we'll get back to action. Make it 2nd and 4 now, just outside the red zone. Motion, handoff up the middle for the Saints. And Plymouth holds at the line.
Medeiros just coming in the game, making an impact right away.
Avery maybe gets one. We'll see where they spot it.
So it's going to be a 3rd and long 2 here.
And it is indeed 3rd and 2, so at the 21. Plymouth needs a stop, maybe only give up a field goal off a turnover. You'll take that of the lesser of the two evils.
Absolutely, yeah. You're looking for your defense to dig deep right here.
Healy Lord on the near side. Scout fumbled in the handoff, and I think St. Thomas recovered, but mistake there on the Saints offensively. It's going to bring up 4th down and about 5.
Yeah, trying to get it to Tim Avery there up the middle, trying to get that, and they end up losing about 2 or 3 yards. So huge break for Bobcats there, though I think they probably would have had it blocked up inside there. I didn't see that there was 3 or 4 yards for a 1st down. So let's see what St. Thomas decides to do here.
Under 9 minutes to go. 1st quarter, 4th and 4. Again, we apologize for the tingy audio we have a little bit. Trying to fix that for you. 4th and 4, they're going for it. Scourin, gonna keep it, go right side, throw it down the line, finds a target, and it's inside the 10, and a big 1st down there for the Saints on a 4th down conversion.
Yeah, the corner had good position on the coverage, but right when the quarterback started to run upfield, he came off his man, he threw it right in behind him. So that's what we talked about. You got to honor that quarterback. He's got wheels, he can run. So as soon as he came off his man, he was able to dump it in behind him. So big pickup there in 4th and 5. Setting it looks like a 1st and goal from a 5-yard line here for St. Thomas.
It is indeed. Skowron with the handoff right side for Sal Yards, and he's in for a Saints touchdown.
Yeah, St. Thomas did a good job setting the edge there, and you didn't have the room like you did back here at the 25-yard line to race him down. So good quick snap out of the backfield. St. Thomas offensive line coming out and establishing dominance right there on that drive.
So here for the extra point attempt. Kick is up, and it is good. A 7-0 lead for the Saints. And it was Lucas Spinelli, the junior, with the PAT.
Not the way you want to start off, taking the ball there off the kickoff, off the start of the game. Your offense going to come back, get in gear now. Can't put your defense with a 25-yard short field. You make this team drive the length of the field. They've got enough firepower. You don't want to make it any easier on them than you already did. So let's come out here. You got to respond.
So Saints ready to kick it off. Plymouth return team getting some last-minute instructions. Head coach Chris Sanborn. Mansu and Gabe Keene will be back to receive the kick.
Well, one thing out of that first drive, you ran 2 run plays. You got probably 6 yards out of the two run plays, which you're looking for 3-4 yards a pop out of those inside dives. So not bad production, but you got to hold on the football at the end of it. So
see if Plymouth can do something here on this drive to try to answer right back. Good kick. Mansu will gather it up at his own 7. Going to work right side at the 20. He's got some running room across the 35. Hesitation. Gets across midfield and it gets dropped at the Saints 45 in a big return that almost went to the house.
Yeah, and that's just what you want to see, right? You want to see him respond, all right? We screwed up that first drive. Come back out here and fight. Nolan Galvin making a great block down here about the 25-yard line, seeing those breaking man so open. So great response. We're starting the drive here at the 45-yard line of St. Thomas. See if we can get the offense going.
So what a way to answer there for Plymouth. Rainier on the end, handoff in the backfield, and looks like Thorne maybe gets, or correction, yeah, it is Thorne.
Yep.
40-48 sometimes look the same. I thought it would be Eli Crane for a second, but he'll gain about 4 on that.
I look the same, about minus 50, 60 pounds.
I blame the fog, not that I'm trying to do 7 things at once right now. So 2nd and 6 for the Bobcats. Handoff, Thorne has some blockers in front. Stutter steps left side, gets across the 35 and gets a Bobcat first down at the 32.
Yeah, it was a great cut by Thorne. Went to the right, opened it up to the left, nice slide step, and hits the hole. And that's what you want. You want these guys running downhill. We don't want a lot of side-to-side running. Get up the field. Good 8-yard pickup there. Doing it inside with this forefront of St. Thomas. They're leaving the middle wide open, so Chris is going to try and take advantage of it.
Diamond been under center this whole time. And a flag comes in.
Flag on the play.
Thank you to everyone who is giving us the feedback on the audio here.
Good an encroachment on St. Thomas, so going to set Plymouth up here 1st and 5.
So Plymouth will absolutely continue charging down the field. At the 27-yard line now of the Saints.
First and 5.
Chris sticking with Robbie in the backfield for this drive so far.
He's been solid this year at times. Thorne again gets some blockers. Gets across the 25 near the first down marker. We'll see where he's at, but great blocking out in front of him by Nossaman, number 54.
And that's the option Robbie gives you. He's a big, powerful running back. He can run in behind your lineman. He's going to get you 4 or 5 yards. So where the other guys get those cuts, that speed, and close in spaces, if you want to hammer the ball, Robbie's the one to go to. So
2nd and 1 here.
Cullen McNair's checked in over to tackle. I think he came in for Medeiros, who I think he's been fighting a little bit of a hand issue. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes.
Thorne spinning off contact and will get the first down. And Plymouth's inside the red zone for the first time tonight.
Yeah, needed 1, got you 6. I'm going to give Robbie a break. He'd think he's take the last 5 snaps, I believe. So
yeah, he needs a little breather. Coke machine is, again, what would they call him, and might need some caffeine after his drive so far.
I guess the fridge was taken. He couldn't use that one.
Crane in the backfield as well. Hand off, and it's Gabe Keane inside the 10 and tackled to the 5, and boy, did he explode through that gap.
Yeah, that was a flash. He was out of the backfield real quick. Great blocking upside, opened that hole up great. 1st and 10, he'd get you 13 yards and set you up 1st and goal. That was a lot faster than seeing Robbie come out of the backfield. It's amazing trying to keep up with this backfield. They've got all different types back there.
And again, we saw Keane go down with an injury that we suspected last week against Kennett in that 2nd annual Greyout game in honor of Luc Besson. And such a great memorial game every year now. But he's back and he looks completely healthy. Hopefully he can stay that way. Diamond working the snap count. Right up the middle, and Plymouth just going to be short. Nice run there for Robbie Thorne again after a breather.
Yep, yeah, it's not broke, don't fix it, right? He got you the whole way down the field, give it to him right here in the short yardage.
So Plymouth trying to answer right back.
1st and goal for Plymouth from the 2.
It's what you expected the first drive, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The fumble didn't really set you up the way you wanted to, but offensive line taking care of business right now.
Again, knock on wood if we can find some. Double shift to the right side. Thorne again, blockers, and he's easily in for a Bobcat touchdown.
Great job on the right side there. I don't know, I think 85 is your tight end on that side. Brennan Johnson set the edge right there. No problem, Robbie walked right in.
Get set for the extra point.
Great answer by the Bobcats. Didn't start the way you wanted to. Come right back. Now you get a football game.
Absolutely needed to answer right back on, again, a Saints team that has been dominant this year as of late. Mansu's kick up and good, and we are tied at 7. Show the replay right now of that touchdown play. Thorne, good blocking out in front. You're right, Medeiros getting into the secondary. Good blocking to open up that hole.
Yeah, Tristan Partridge there coming out of the backfield and kicking out that corner. Great block.
So tied at 7 here. 4:42 to go first quarter. Here, week 8 of the 2023 season.
The rate in which this fog is falling in here, it's going to be an interesting second half, that's for sure.
We'll have to find them. Oh, of course, I bring all the equipment we don't need back to the truck, as we had a tiny monitor for us to look at. But we'll look at the computer if we need to. We've done it before. Trevin Stone ready to kick it off here, left to right across your screen. I believe Healy's back. Goes short on the pooch. Plymouth's been doing that a lot more this season. Gathered up at the 20, Saints right side. Will get a good return out to about the 38 to start their next drive.
I believe that was Tim Avery that got that kick return.
It was indeed.
Not a bad option to take it.
1st and 10 for St. Thomas from their 38.
So Saints offense will get their second drive of the game here on their senior night. Again, all eyes also in Division II at that Souhegan game.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Again, you were talking about the points breaks, and you'd be all right with a low-scoring game down there right now. So see what those defenses show up and do. Here, though, the Bobcats, they got to set the edge here. They got to keep contained. So didn't do it in that last drive. Let's see what they do this time.
Motion, hand up, near side for Grondin, and he'll get across the 45. A gain of about 7 or 8 on the carry.
It's a great play designed by St. Thomas. They got a set man this side, and Robbie Thorne's coming up trying to set that edge, and that set man's crashing down, pushing him right down in the middle of the defense and opening up that outside. Robbie's going to stand strong and fight that crash block and set that edge. If they don't, it's going to be a long night on the edges.
Seeing one pass attempt. That was completion on 4th down last drive for the Saints. Healy the lone on the near side again. Motion. Handoff up the middle, and should be enough for a Saints first down. We'll see what the spot is. Good carry again by Avery. I say he's just short.
Yeah, they might call for a measurement, but yeah, they're going to. Oh, he's going to call.
Yeah,
for
there it is.
Yeah.
I was going to say this is close. Well, they're going to give it to him right away, not even get the measurement.
Oh. You saw the change right there. Robbie came in expecting that hit that time, and the guy went right by him. They gave it up the middle. So you're looking at 7. That's your power side here for St. Thomas, and you got to be ready. If you're the D end out there, you got to expect him to crash down.
Saints will break the huddle. 3:23 and counting. First quarter, we're tied at 7. Scout run under center, handoff. Avery again gets wrapped up by Nossaman, and a big loss of about 4 yards.
Yeah, Russo coming in to help out there. That's how you set the edge. That was a great play. That time they set the set man straight out. He didn't crash down in, but you notice on the other side they've got Emmett lined up a little bit more heads up over that DN, or that tight end, excuse me. So they may be expecting him to handle him by himself, but probably they don't try that again without that set man helping out.
Second and 12. Play action. Scourin going to roll out to the near side. Throws over the middle, and that's a dangerous pass intended for Grondin and nearly picked off by the Bobcats.
Yeah, Liam Shannon got up and got his hands on it and just missed it.
We'll see Tyler Medeiros check back into the game.
Robbie Thorne out here on the edge. Started to get a little bit of pressure there. That I'd watch Holden on that side. He's definitely got away with one there, St. Thomas did. But either way, bringing up 3rd and long.
Carter will sub out there for Medeiros on the line. 3rd down and long here for the Saints. Motion. Saul yards. Scourin could have scramble. Pocket was collapsing. And he will be pushed out across midfield at about the 47. And it's going to be kind of 4th and mid-distance here.
Yeah, I got the pressure, and you can see why Scourin's got that many rushing yards. He is fast out of that backfield and across. He's got some speed.
We did see him kind of palming it, that Michael Vick asking. With the mist and the fog coming in, you wonder if that could just easily be just popped out of there. That's something Plymouth's got to watch for.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely not tucking that ball away when he's running around.
2:20 to go in the quarter, and punt coming on here. And Plymouth's just going to let it bounce, and a beautiful punt for St. Thomas. It's going to be downed just inside the 5.
Can't ask much. It's going to be a field position game. It's going to be a long game. That's perfect. Put it inside the 5-yard line. You can't ask much more than that. Great punt by St. Thomas. Great coverage getting down there.
Ready to start your own TV show? Pemmy Baker TV is your launch pad for community-driven content where your voice takes center stage. Join us in making television dreams become a reality. Contact us today at pbtv@plymouth-nh.org or call us at the station 603-536-8116 for more information. So Plymouth backed up deep in their own territory here to start this drive, their 3rd one of the night. On that reverse, and St. Thomas was ready for it with a carry. Nowhere for Gabe Keane to go.
Yeah, I'm always a little bit nervous at counters and pitches out of the end zone. That's lost a couple there. You're back down the 2.5-yard line. Probably look for something to dive right up the middle, get away from your own goal line. Bobcats lucky to get out of their end zone on that play.
So now it's almost about getting breathing room and trying to avoid that 3 and out. We'll see what Plymouth comes with. We've yet to see Luke Diamond attempt to pass. And with this jumbo package, you don't expect to see it again. Handoff. Little cut back by Thorne. Gets across the 5 out to about the 6. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Yeah, and that's what's working right up the middle. They go back to it. They get away from the goal line. You're happy here. If you don't get a first down, you get out by that first down stick. You give some room for your punter to sit back there, be comfortable, and get it out of there. So wouldn't expect to see Luke throwing it in this situation. You don't want to, again, risk anything crazy.
So long drive here, just under a minute to go here in the opening quarter. So we're tied at 7.
Barring an incomplete pass, probably going to be your last play here the first quarter.
Motion. Handoff on the sweep. Gabe Keene with some running room and gets spun down at the 14.
Now for a first down.
Trying to see who had that tackle. It was Aiden Mortensen, number 9, the junior, with that good tackle that stopped what could have been a 30-yard run.
Absolutely. You got Brendan Johnson out there and Eli Ibargwin. I saw his parents this last week, and they helped me with the parents. So
there you go.
Shout out to his parents.
So good. I've been saying it right all year.
Yeah. I have not. And come to find out that in Guilford, that was his first touchdown that I butchered his name.
Oh!
That was good.
Sorry, Ibargwins. We'll get it right. Keene in motion again here. Last play of the quarter. And a fullback handoff out to about the 20 for Ben Valenti. Here's first touch of the game, as that's going to do it here for the first quarter, as we are tied at 7 after 1. We'll be back in just a moment for second quarter action. You're watching Bobcat football here on Pemmy Baker TV.
Pelham.
Back here for the start of the second. Good barn burners so far, Greg. And what's really stood out for you for both teams here in the first 12 minutes?
It's the offensive line for Plymouth. After that early fumble, their offensive line came out and dominated on that long drive. Now they're coming out of their own goal line. Got away from there. You got a 2nd and 7 here, so let's see how much of the second quarter they can chew up. And for St. Thomas, it's the speed on the edge. If they get that edge, it's going to be a problem for Plymouth all night. They have some speed over there.
Second quarter, team switching sides.
So we'll see what Plymouth can do.
Second down and 7.
Bargwin will be split out wide here. Declan Healy, the senior, will kind of be zone against him, giving him a lot of room at 8-10 yard space. Plymouth starting this quarter on the right hash. And a long kind of delay here. And now the whistles will come from the officials. And is the placement wrong?
I see the ref talking to the box operator on the other side.
Yeah, I was like, it looked a little bit further up than it should have
adjusted
been.
about
They say
maybe
it's
a
at
half
the
a yard.
Yeah, it should be at the 17.
We're still moving the chains.
Go forward, go back. It's all good. I mean, from our vantage point here, we can barely see that side of the field.
Yeah. No, it was 2nd and 7. It was showing 2nd and 5. Now it looks like it's 2nd and 6.
A little update right now from what we can see from ScoreStream. Pelham leading 12-0 at home against Souhegan.
Pelham's got that long win streak. They're not looking to give it up tonight.
No. Handoff right side for Plymouth, and just dragging some players for the first down as we look through the fog. We're going to have to turn to our camera here, and it is, I believe, Ben Valenti.
Yeah, running right over Medeiros, and why not? At 250 pounds, he's a good guy to get behind. So,
First down for Plymouth.
So big first down as you were stuck inside your own 5 to start this drive. Going back to the first quarter if you're just tuning in, so glad you could join us. Here on Pemmy Baker TV, channel 1302 on Spectrum Cable in the Plymouth area, also live here on Facebook and YouTube. Rainier in motion, double reverse, and a big gap up the middle for Keene across the 40 for another Bobcat first down.
That's a great design right there. So you can see kind of early on, it looks like St. Thomas is shifting to their power. So whichever the set man's on, they're going either way. So Chris hitting a little bit of backside stuff there. Great design play right there for close to 20 yards. The cameras are doing it better justice than what it looks like. But if it gets much foggier here, we're not going to see the St. Thomas team over there on all white.
Shout out to AD Dave Moretti and all the crew here being very generous to us as a road team coverage. And off and diving for the 45 is Valenti.
That was Dylan Lassard inside for St. Thomas. A great pop, met him right at the line. That's a great hit. Coming up for them, looks like the middle linebacker position and sticking him. That was a great play for St. Thomas. Still getting 4 yards out of it.
Diamond will get the call from the sideline. As per usual with this Bobcat program. The Bargman will split out near side once again, just out of screen. Mansell will fall back in motion. And a whistle here.
Got a timeout here, Chris is hollering.
Timeout called by Plymouth. Their first charge timeout of the half. And now Pelham up 19-0 as we keep a close eye on that game. And that could really play huge for Plymouth. Souhegan a half point behind Pelham going into tonight because of their loss to Timberlane in that Division I matchup they had. So if they fall, now Plymouth wins out. Now you're looking at a solid 2. Hopefully, if Pelham loses next week, I don't even know who they're playing, but there's still a path to the top seed for Plymouth, although albeit slim, but a really solid path to the top, number 2 seed, depending on how these last 2 weeks go.
Yeah, and it's the last thing I'm probably in Chris's mind.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take care of your business here. You got a game here tonight. You got a game next week. Take care of what you can control, and that's Bobcat football.
Fans in student section off to our right, trying to get fired up. 2nd and 6 for the Bobcats at their own 45. Motion again, Mansu, handoff up the gut, bouncing right side, and across midfield, close to the sticks.
That was Nathan Lyons making something out of nothing, hitting the backfield right away, and gets...
Keene 20 with a carry.
Oh, yeah, sorry, 20, yeah.
We're so used to calling Lions defensively.
We got a flag down. Yeah, looks like they're going to have holding here.
Did not see that come in. And it is on the Bobcats, so that will negate that run for Keene.
Pelham looks like they have Hanover next week. It'll be their last game. So
that'll be a good one.
Hanover's going into the night at 4-2, and they have been a big offensive output this season. Even in their losses, scoring well over 20 points. So not a give-me for a last game for Pelham.
That's a team that Plymouth faced in the preseason. One of their 2 they had at Hanover and then home against Dover before opening the season, and that was a big battle, and it really opened up Plymouth's eyes to, there's a lot of speed in this division this year.
Yeah, and same with Souhegan. They got John Stark next week, so not an easy path for them for the last game. John Stark coming only with 2 losses. So
such a great end to the regular season. Getting ready for the Division II tournament in November. Handoff up the middle once again, and Plymouth just driving with yards after contact good work there once again for Robbie Thorne.
Yeah, and you got 7 of those yards back, penalty yards. You moved yourself up to a 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, so a lot better situation than sitting back there at 3rd and 15. Even if Plymouth doesn't pick this first down up, they flip the field. That's, you play in the field position game. It's going to, it's going to be a tight game. Looking at a 3rd down there in your own goal line, you get it out midfield. You punt here, you're in a good situation.
And now you're getting St. Thomas hopefully deep in their own end instead of punting out to about midfield.
Absolutely, yep.
So Plymouth coming out in a passing formation. Twins split evenly. 4 wide receiver set. Diamond in that pistol. And, that was close to a false start. Handoff, and nowhere for Plymouth to go as the Saints were ready for it against Robbie Thorne, and getting in there was Andrew Rodriguez, the junior, number 14, on the tackle.
Yeah, Plymouth trying to spread out their defense to get those guys out there, but the middle linebacker stepping up and taking care of business.
So that will bring the punt unit on. Stone ready to punt it away. Birch is one of the men back, same with Healy. High, and this is an absolute pooch. This one's going to bounce just over the 45, and a slight friendly Bobcat bounce, and it will be down at the Saints 37, but Stone skied that one high.
Yeah, and now you're happy you got out to the 45-yard line and skied that punt instead of their own goal line, because
Yes.
They would have had that ball inside their 30, so it could be worse. That drive did what it was supposed to. Obviously, you want points out of it, but you'll take that any day. So 2 drives apiece, one resulting in a touchdown, one resulting in a punt for both teams here.
Again, tune in next Saturday for the Bobcats' regular season finale as they host Sanborn on Senior Day. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. with our coverage starting at 12:45 right here on Pemmy Baker TV. Saints will come in motion with Birch. Quarterback keeper, Scourin, left side, gets hit, but he'll gain the first down. Eli Crane with the big hit in the tackle, but a gain of about 12 on that run.
And that's in a blink of an eye. He is fast. He cut that corner and was gone. He didn't even look at pitching that football.
See that run just slips past some guys, and actually it was
Nathan
Lyons, number 22. My apology. Under 8 minutes to go here in the first half. We're tied at 7. Scourin under center, handoff. Trying to get some blockers. Plymouth absolutely holding that line of scrimmage as Salyards is wrapped up for a gain of maybe 1. But boy, Plymouth held there.
Yeah, get off your blocks, control your man, shed the block, find the tackle. Great job on the interior D-line right there.
They'll give Salyards 2. It'll be 2nd and 8, just over midfield in the Bobcat territory.
So far in the early going, the interior of the Bobcats defense is holding up great. It's the edges. They got to control the edges more. Scouring with that speed, that option, and counterplay, it's dangerous.
Salyard subbing out. Owen Birch will come in for him, the senior. Healy will split out near side. Got Avery in the backfield. On the sweep, Birch. Maybe a gain of 1, but again, look who's in there. It's Nathan Lyons, number 22.
All over the field, left to right now. He's doing a great job. And again, you can see how fast that comes out of that backfield. Those linebackers have to step up and get there. Great job. We had Will Foisey out here on the wide out, and he's obviously Declan Healy's got some speed because he's giving him plenty of a cushion there. So that's Lions play right there all day.
Score update for Bobcat Country. Great job, boys soccer, getting the 3-2 win over Co-Brown here on Senior Day as they set up for the playoffs next Tuesday. And great wrap up to the season for volleyball. The varsity team getting a 3-0 win, the second 3-0 win over Kennett on their senior night. So shout out to both of those teams as well. Scourin, play action quarterback keeper, slips though, trying to cut back up field, and it'll bring up 4th down.
It doesn't look like it gains anything there. Would be shocked to see them punt here now on the Bobcat side of the field.
Well, Although they're getting change of unit out there. And
4th down and 6.
yeah, they're going to punt it away.
Playing the field position here. One thing I'm looking over these rosters, and you got one. Only 7 seniors on this St. Thomas team, which means they're going to be a force to be reckoned with next year as well.
Oh, what a great punt by Skowron. Mansu doesn't go, but it does roll into the end zone for a touchback, but that was an absolute missile.
And that was close. That last bounce it held up. I thought he was going to get there in time. They almost put Bobcats on the 1-yard line, but that last hop luckily got in the end zone.
Yeah, Owen Healy again, or Declan Healy, my apology, getting very close to downing that at the 1. 5:06 to go here in the first half. And this tight battle in Division II.
See if the Bobcats can come out and play mistake-free football. That, the first drive they fumbled, turned it over. Second drive they scored. Third drive they get that holding penalty, sets them back, and they can't recover. So mistake-free football. See if you can drive down. You get 5 minutes here in the second quarter. It'd be nice to go up with a touchdown before half.
Handoff right side. Plymouth trying to find some movement. And looked like Thorne maybe gets a couple.
Looks like they're going to give him 3.5 yards, which take 4 or 5 yards every play. You'll get that first down. So, again, Chris wants to chew this clock down here, if nothing else.
Yeah, we don't have time of possession with the stats here in high school, but Plymouth notorious for just chewing up the clock.
Yeah, when you can ground and pound for 6 yards at a pop and not throwing a lot, that's the recipe for that. And I don't think we've seen a pass.
We haven't, yeah. Diamond hasn't thrown yet. Foisey alone on the near side. On the sweep, and Keene slips up across the 25. They'll mark him down at the 25. And it'll bring up.
Liam Mathis got just enough of him in the backfield, drag him down. So we're going to set him up with a 3rd and long 5.
Yeah, long 5 here. But yeah, you wonder again with the AstroTurf, the moisture in the air, and that it's just a slick surface out there. We've seen both teams slipping up here, trying to cut up field this evening. Under 4 minutes here in the first half. Keene in motion on the sweep. He'll get the handoff. Has some blockers. Right side gets the first down and more. Out to about the 37.
Yeah, great blocking out there on the edge. You got Will Foisey doing a great job as that split out man out there, setting the edge, giving a good enough block so your backfield can make a cut off that.
First down for Plymouth.
It's that big explosion in the secondary.
1st and 10 from their 39.
Plymouth coming out with that same formation once again. Motion, Keene on the sweep, handoff though, and the fullback. And Plymouth will get maybe a couple on the carry. I believe it's Robbie Thorne, it is.
You think here, getting down close to 3 minutes, you've shown them that formation again and again. You're doing a lot of success with that. You got to think the play action's coming here anytime. You're looking for a chunk here as the time's getting down.
And if you're St. Thomas, you might be looking for Jackson Rainier, who's been that target in the first half of the season. Maybe not as of late, but he can get going at any time. Keep Foisey out here on the near side, just out of your shot on the screen. Handoff, Keene again, slipping in the backfield, a loss of a couple on the play, and it brings up 3rd and long for the Bobcats.
Yeah, it looked like it was there too, going backside there. It looked like he was going to get at least 4 or 5 yards set up with a 3rd down and manageable, but footing's definitely going to be an issue, and the mist isn't going away. The rain's definitely here to stay.
And you don't have those long studs anymore that can really dig in, especially on AstroTurf. Rightfully so. You never want to twist a knee on a cut-up like that, too. We've seen so much here recently with the new fields. 3rd and 7. Diamond going to pass for the first time. Airs it out, looking for Foisey. and it was nearly picked off. Healy was set up underneath, and Foisey was able to knock it away, and that hung forever.
Yeah, it seemed like Foisey had enough time to get underneath it, almost like he slowed down a step. I don't know if he lost it. The lights are right over his right shoulder where he's looking back at that football, but ends up playing a better defender than he does a receiver on that play. In those slippery conditions, usually it benefits the offense. They know where they're going in every play, right? The defense has to sit back on their heels and react. So it'd be interesting to see if you see some of these defenders start slipping, if these guys can keep their feet, especially on these pass routes.
Stone will punt it away for the second time here in the first half. And it's a better one this time, end over end. A great Bobcat bounce. It's going to get down to about the 10. Travis Stone makes up for the last punt and pins the Saints back deep in their own territory.
Yeah, right at the 10-yard line, surrounded by 4 or 5 Bobcats, not giving them a chance to return that. So minute 54 here. I believe St. Thomas still has 2 timeouts, so your defense looking for pass. Did they have all 3?
They have all 3. Only 1 timeout so far taken by Plymouth. I know that because I'm running the computer trying to do replay and everything for you guys to make it as interactive for you at home, wherever you're watching from.
St. Thomas student area is having a absolute blast here tonight. It's fun to see all the kids out here enjoying a Friday night football game.
Again, not only is it senior night, it's homecoming weekend for the Saints, so a lot of alums back in the area. You got the food trucks up in the parking lot. Big crowd here on hand in this big matchup. Left side handoff. And
stop right at the line of scrimmage by the looks of it.
Trying to see, believe it was Avery.
I saw Emmett Nossaman out there. Dean did a lot better job that play, stretching it. All right, you didn't set the edge, but you stretched that block out, carried him right to the line. It's the sideline. So the sideline's your 12th defender. You get him out there, you can't go any further. Gives you time for your corners and everything to step up and help you out.
And it's also great seeing the weak side linebackers as well, covering that cutback. So you're getting the whole team moving as almost a wall to use that 12th defender. Scouring, handoff up the middle. Avery gets popped once again by Lyons. Battle of the 22, and so Lyons gets the best of it. Woo-hoo!
His last 2 drives on defense, Nathan has been all over this. And doesn't look like St. Thomas in too much of a rush, not burning a timeout here as the clock's continuing to run.
50 seconds to go here in the first half. And I think they're content on going 7-7 into the locker room.
Seems Chris is too, where he's not using one to get the ball back in case of a stop here.
Have a late substitution coming in with Nolan Gavlin. Lions coming off quickly. That was a late change in the personnel. Handoff, left side. And it'll be enough for a Saints first down there. I believe it was Avery once again with a carry.
And now St. Thomas is going to use a timeout.
First down for St. Thomas.
With 16 seconds to go here in the second quarter. We are tied. Well, correction, not going to be a timeout because it was the moving of the change. It was the first down, so it stopped for a second, just like it is in college. At least still at Division III and 2, not Division I, and that whole finagle of the rules being changed.
Well, that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter.
Well, first half.
First half, sorry, yep.
We're getting there. We're all tired. It's 7 o'clock in a long drive. So halftime here in Dover, New Hampshire. St. Thomas got out early after the fumble turnover on the first drive for Plymouth, deep in their own end at the 27. Plymouth answering on the drive right back after that, and there's been nothing since. Back and forth ever since that point here in the first quarter. And really, Greg, what do you see both teams trying to do differently to get that advantage going into the second half?
Well, I think for Plymouth, it's pretty clear, mistake-free football. When you play mistake-free football, you're driving down the field, your offense is clicking, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Like I said, fumble, a penalty there, a bad punt sets you up in bad field position for as far as your defense. Your defense after that early on drive is really starting to set the edge better, controlling the St. Thomas offense. I think it's for St. Thomas, it's got to be Scourin. The speed he's got around the edge, Plymouth has seen it. They're going to have to respect it. If they can get a pass in behind there, it's going to be hard to stop. Plymouth is doing a good job against the run, but you got to look for St. Thomas to throw the football here in the second half.
Well, we'll see what's going to happen. We'll step aside, take a break. We'll be back in about 14 minutes to get ready for the second half. But at the break, it's the Saints 7, the Bobcats 7. You're watching Bobcat football here on Pemmy Baker TV.
I know, it's well, the white jerseys, I'm telling you. Us with the gray jerseys last year. When someone makes contact, I'm like, well, that was a player. Thank you. You're welcome. I'll be back, man. Okay. I know, you're good. You're such Lewis thing tomorrow, and then I actually call Greg's game on Sunday morning. It's okay. It's totally okay. Every now and then. But I told you, I haven't had Moe's in so freaking long. It's been like 17 years since I've had a Moe's shot.
Welcome back, fans, here to St. Thomas Aquinas here in Dover, New Hampshire. Dan Salzer alongside Greg Sanborn getting you ready for the start of the second half. Greg tied at 7. We talked about it a little bit before going into the break here at halftime, but where do you really see both teams doing now that they've had that break?
I think for Plymouth, it's going to be more of the same, right? I think you're going to make some play action. I was a little surprised that one pass we did have in that first half. They didn't do any play action on that. You got St. Thomas's linebackers moving up a little bit, expecting the run. I think you got to look for Bobcats mixing a little bit of play action pass. Getting out there, talking to some people in the stands, a lot of them are surprised by the footing. They're shocked at the amount of kids that are slipping, so that's a big thing to watch for in the second half. It's stalled drives on both sides here for Bobcats and St. Thomas, so who keeps the footing in the second half? It's going to continue to be an issue. Obviously, the fog's getting a little bit more dense, so who can control the environment, who can not have that mental mistake, that fumble late in the game. For St. Thomas, we talked about it earlier, Schouler, kid's an athlete, right? He's got speed. If you can get the Bobcats to suck up looking for that run and he can start throwing the football a little bit, we saw him drop back a little bit, but use his legs more than throwing. They start mixing those throws in and see if we can catch the Bobcats on their heels. That's going to, I would say, be their key, because the running game up the middle and even on the edges, as the Bobcats have made adjustments, hasn't been there for them.
So we'll see what's going to happen again. Fans, tune in tomorrow morning, a new episode of This Week in Plymouth. Catch up on all things that are happening in Plymouth, from town meeting talking points to upcoming events. Watch at 10 a.m. with a replay at 11 a.m. right here on Penny Baker TV, channel 1302, and on demand on YouTube later in the day. So just getting the final warm-ups here, about a minute to go in the warm-up session, that 3 minutes you get after halftime to kind of get the body loose again. But big blowout at the moment. I think it's 26 or 29 nothing Pelham over Souhegan, I believe, heading into their halftime. And boy, I didn't see that happen.
No, I thought Souhegan would. I'm sure they had a plan to go in and give them a good fight in there, especially after last year. Pelham just continues the roll, right? A couple of years undefeated, pretty much coming out and making sure that the state of New Hampshire knows who number one is. Again, it's a half of football to play down there. Who knows what Souhegan will do in the second half? No way they're going to roll over, but got a tall hill to climb there down in Pelham.
Yeah, we don't know if anything's happened in injury, because, you got J.J. Bright, who has been a dominant in the backfield. Ronan Dre, Rami, I'm going to get names correct eventually. He's been easily one of, if not the best quarterback in Division II, if not the state, over his career, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him play Division I somewhere next year.
Yeah, I'm sure Pelham has the athletes, but every team's going to be looking at that game film going, seeing what Pelham did to Souhegan's offense to try and slow them down in the playoffs. Pelham's giving you the recipe right now.
As we're underway here to start the second half, St. Thomas receiving the kick, trying to bounce out to the right-hand side, having some running room, and popped just short of the 30.
Looks like Caden Manso was in over there.
It was Owen Birch on the return, number 6.
Manso and Crane combined to get that tackle over there on the far side.
It looks like they're going to spot St. Thomas at their own 30-yard line. Looked like he was short, but then again, that's why we're in the booth. At least why I'm in the booth.
They probably got to get a better spot than we do over there.
Great battle here tonight. Hope you're all enjoying it from wherever you're watching from. Plymouth does the shift and gets St. Thomas to jump.
Yeah, great shift in there. Get the defense line moving right. Got looks like the right guard to jump off on that one. Great design by the Bobcats there.
Yeah. Coach Lamb special, as we talked about all season.
It's smart to do right on the first play, right? Yeah. Right before they start to get into it. Keene coming in for Manso on defense here.
Wonder if he's trying to use his speed, trying to protect against the deep ball, but ready to go. It's 1st and 15 now at the Saints 25. Pitch and the handoff, and absolutely nowhere to go.
Ben Valenti, I believe.
Yes, 23, Valenti getting right in on Salyards in the backfield.
Yeah, that was a perfect job. saw the play, slid, shot through the hole, and went right for his legs. You try to teach these kids all the time. I deal with it at the younger levels. Go through the hips, wrap up the legs. That was a perfect form tackle right there.
Second down and 17 for the Saints.
So we'll make it 2nd and 17. Plymouth trying to get the matchups. A lot of confusion in the secondary.
A lot of shifting around, yep.
Salyards comes in motion. Handoff up the middle. Nowhere for the Saints to go. And Plymouth's got the ball. I didn't realize it came out. It's Eli Crane.
Tyler Medeiros stuffed that hole. He slid right down. Big roadblock right in there. Great job getting the football out. Bobcats are going to take over here on St. Thomas 28-yard line.
Complete, almost exact flipped as the start of the game for the start of the second half. St. Thomas got it on a turnover at the Bobcat 27. It's the 28 here for Plymouth.
Yeah, and here's the football bouncing both ways. We talked about it at halftime. Got to minimize the mistakes, ball control here, and right off the bat it bites St. Thomas.
So Plymouth with very favorable field position to start their first drive here of the second half, trying to get the lead on the road. Starting at the 24. Keene on this right side. He'll come in motion. Hand off to him. He's got a big gap on the left side, and he's in for a Bobcat touchdown.
That was a great counter play, right over to the left side. You have Will Foisey downfield blocking. He's been doing a great job all night controlling that corner out there. Once again, I think he was 10 yards downfield setting that block. Great run, great cut by Gabe Keene.
See Zach Carter as well, number 63, making a big gap there as well.
And Zach's been a force all year, both sides of the ball.
Ball down, kick is up, and the extra point is good, and Plymouth have their first lead of the night. It's 14-7 Bobcats.
Well, you said it, the first half going equally as bad as this one went good here for the Bobcats. So flip that script. Now you go right here and do it again.
I mean, almost an exact carbon copy of the start of the game. I promise you it's not scripted.
Well, so we saw the Bobcats. This happened in the first quarter. They came back. They answered with a touchdown drive of their own. Let's see what St. Thomas does here. Bobcats are on a high right now. Go out, back up that offensive touchdown with some more defense. St. Thomas, they're going to get going right here.
And you can't give up a big return if you're Plymouth.
No, you get the momentum right here. You don't want to give them a starting field position out by the 50.
Salhegan has scored just before the half. It's 26-7 Pelham. And that big game of the top two teams in the West Conference. Both teams undefeated in conference play. Salhegan having a loss against Timberlane earlier this season by 1. As this kickoff will bounce a little short. Birch gathers it up at the 14. And he'll be wrapped up and tackled at about the 25. So decent return for the Saints.
Yeah, good coverage by the Bobcats. You'll give them that. 25-yard line, no different than a touchback.
We'll see if Scowron will try to air things out here in the second half. Both teams, we talked about it, Greg. You mentioned it, the fog, the dew in the air now as the temperatures are cooling off. A lot of trouble with the handoffs for both teams.
Yeah, and you can feel it out there. The bleachers here are dripping wet from the dew. It's going to play a big factor in the second half. Already has.
Handoff up the middle on the right side across the 30 out to about the 31. Gain of about 5 on the carry for Avery.
Senior Tim Avery with the carry.
And there's Zach Carter in the middle again. Again, him and Medeiros. I can't say enough about those guys in the middle of that defense, how they lock it down. Been solid in there all year. They're deep. They've got backup tackles coming in and keep these guys fresh. It's been impressive.
2nd and 5. Healy alone on the right side. Birch in motion, handoff on the fullback. Actually, quarterback keeper on the play action. Scowron, full knee, got across the 40 and enough for a Saints first down. I thought Avery had it in the middle of the field, and I think Plymouth did as well.
I was about to talk about how great tackle Medeiros had there in the middle, and all of a sudden I see Scowron around the edge. That was a great fake, and again, the speed kills easily picking up that first down. That was a great fake.
So they'll be at their own 41-yard line here, under 10 minutes to go, third quarter. Plymouth leading 14-7 if you're just tuning in. Saints will do here on this play. Scowron under center. Plymouth will shift that line. Salyard's right side on the motion. Breaking tackles in the secondary. Gets out towards midfield. He'll be stopped at about the 48 or 49 depending on the spot. But a gain of 8 on that carry from Salyards.
Yeah, that was perfect for St. Thomas. The defensive line shifted again. They actually shifted away from the way they ended up running. Taylor Russo had him at the line of scrimmage, missed the tackle, and really making something out of nothing after that.
So they'll mark it at the 49, and it is 2nd and 2. Avery in that backfield as well, always dangerous to carry. Salyards gets it on the motion right side, bounces across for the first down into Bobcat territory out to the Plymouth 45.
Yeah, and so far in this drive, this is what St. Thomas wanted, all right? You fumbled it, you come back, now you show your stones. They're coming, they're nice little drive going down the field right now.
Great timing on that handoff and just getting up into that secondary.
Setting up on the Bobcat side of the football field now.
After the spot, clock continues to run now, under 8 minutes to go here in the third. St. Thomas trying to answer right back on this drive after Plymouth scored. Quarterback keeper, and nowhere for Scowron to go, and a big-time sack for the Bobcats.
That's
and it's Eli Crane, yes.
Yeah, and I was just going to say, the play action, the fakes that St. Thomas are pulling in the backfield, they're getting me almost every, I mean, they sell that play. That's impressive. You get 3 really solid backs coming out of the backfield, including your quarterback, and it is hard to see where that ball's going.
Eli Crane came in untouched from that linebacker position, just came in clear and had a perfect beat on Scowron. Makes it 2nd down and 19. Scoreboard says 1st and 19. Sanborn frantic at his line right now. Scowron dropping back and air it out right side, and it's over the hands of Nolan Galvin.
Yeah, and that's dangerous right there. Nolan going for the ball, not playing the man. Just get over his hands. If that pass is a little bit more on target, that's an easy catch right there for a gain of 15 yards.
Stay 3rd and long at the Saints 46-yard line. Need to get to the Plymouth 35.
Chris taking the big fellas out of the middle of the defense, putting some smaller, probably a little bit speedier guys in there right now. Got to be ready to pass here all the way.
Either that or the speed from Scowron.
Some kind of misdirection with Scowron, yeah.
Scowron has been absolutely insane. Yeah, don't have live stats here in high school, but I wish we did. They'll move Avery out to the near side in motion. Scowron gets past a couple of blockers. He's off and running across the 40. Still on his feet. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown Saints, and there's the answer right back for St. Thomas.
Yeah, we talked about a Scowron speed. We're going to have to watch it. They wheel routed their halfback out here on this side. In the corner over here, I believe, was Jackson Renier. He turned his back and went with the receiver. I think you'll see him here in just a second. So he's running away, no eyes on the quarterback. With that kind of speed, you're not going to get over there. We talked about at the half, it's got to be Scowron with his speed, either his arm or his speed.
And it was definitely the speed of his legs. Spinelli for the extra point attempt to tie things up. Chip shot is good, And we're all knotted up at 14 here, midway through the third quarter.
Yep, a lot like the first quarter started, but the other direction. So,
complete script flipped.
Yep, that was an impressive drive. Again, we talked about it at half. His speed is deadly.
So we'll see how Plymouth will work here.
Well, Chris is, he's obviously going to be upset if they score either way, but, you let St. Thomas slowly drive down the field. That's one thing. You're not big enough giving up that big play. You get them lacked up there in a third and long situation, and you just lose track of the quarterback. That's a tough pill to swallow. He's not going to be happy about that at all.
Yeah, 59-yard run there for Skowron here on his senior night. And that is something he'll remember forever.
Yeah, especially if they come out and win this game. That's the one you're going to talk about right there. Third and backed up. Bobcats about to take the football back and totally flip the script.
Spinelli, little squib kick. That one's going to roll inside the 20. Gathered at the 14 by Mansu. Mansu still in bounds and gets absolutely popped. Ball comes free. It goes out of bounds. Plymouth had possession, and they'll mark it at about the 40. Oh, that could have been real dangerous for Plymouth.
That was a pop right there for sure. I couldn't tell if it came out from the hit or when he hit his back on the ground, it popped out of his hands. But either way, that was a great hit by St. Thomas.
See it here. Just gets blindsided almost, and I think it was on the hit. It came free.
Bobcats happy that one went out of bounds.
So they'll be marked at the 39 to start this drive here.
Bobcats are looking for a slow, methodical drive, chew the clock. You're happy with those big hitters, but you would be happy to see the clock run off a little bit. Give your defense a break.
So Diamond under center once again. Fullback handoff. Thorne gets passed into the second level and out towards midfield. It should, they're going to mark it right by the sticks. We'll see what they mark it here.
Just short.
Just inches.
And going right back to what was working in the first half. Robbie Thorne at the middle. I don't know if you noticed, Robbie slid for an extra yard once he hit the ground, and Grenier out here slid quite a little way, so it's definitely slick out there.
The defenders as well trying to tackle. We saw it on the big plays on last drive for St. Thomas on that right side, just sliding for 5 yards, just bringing Plymouth with them. Nevertheless, 2nd and 1 at the 48. Keene in motion. Diamond drops back, looking to air it out, going to throw it well over the middle, but it's behind his target of a Borgwin, who was wide open, but he threw to the wrong shoulder.
Yeah, hard to tell if Borgwin was looking over the wrong shoulder or if Fluke threw it to the wrong shoulder, but by the way Chris is reacting, it looks like that was thrown to the wrong shoulder, but had him 4 or 5 yard separation there. Oh! But there's that play action pass we were talking about. It worked just the way we were thinking it would. Just missed it. You don't pick up a first down here, that one's going to be one you go back to once you head back.
But 3rd and 1, you expect Plymouth to probably run it here and use that power inside. St. Thomas will be ready for it, though. So try to pack the box.
Robbie's in there. They know he's probably going to get the ball, but they haven't stopped it yet, so knock on wood.
5:39 remaining third quarter. Thorne gets hit, he gets nowhere, and great stop by St. Thomas. Forward progress will be a loss of 1, and it's 4th down and 2 here for Plymouth.
Yeah, we just said it. They knew it was coming. They've used it all day. St. Thomas stepped up and made a stop when they had to there. Keeping the offense out on the field, giving the play to Luke by the looks of it.
And just he bounced, and he couldn't spin outside. He had a teammate kind of run into him as well. But boy, hats off. I believe it was Dylan Lassard, number 23, who made that initial contact and the stop. Plymouth going for it on 4th down. Double shift near side. And nowhere! Turnover on downs, and the Saints again were ready for it, as Thorne couldn't get into the second level.
Not a bad idea going for it there. The problem is St. Thomas just scored, now stopped you on 4th down. All momentum with St. Thomas right now. The defense has got to come out, and they got to play tough right here.
Need a stop. We'd love to see a 3 and out. Don't go through any heroics. Just settle down defensively if you're the Bobcats. Saints, we'll see if they try to throw a dagger, what we saw Plymouth do last week against Kennett at home after a turnover. With Robbie Thorne's 40-yard pass, his first catch of the season, and it was a beauty. Handoff Avery, spins across the 45. He'll gain about 3 or 4 in the carry, depending on where the spot is.
Yeah, good job the interior of the Bobcats, again, coming up strong. Just looking down here on the sideline, you see Robbie trying to walk off. Looks like maybe he got a helmet to the thigh there. What he's done so far in this game, you definitely want him back in there in your offense.
Athletic trainer John Bruley not here this evening. Bruley, I hope you were having fun. I know where you're at.
Crystal's down there taking care of him. She's done a good job for a long time.
2nd and 8. Handoff in the backfield as the likes of Birch able to cut back upfield and gets near the sticks. They'll give him a first down. What a great cutback.
Yeah, again, Eli Crane was in the backfield. We just missed a tackle there. Second effort. You got to make those tackles when you have the opportunity. The back judge definitely helped out with the assist on the tackle.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. As you see there on the replay, I mean, it's always difficult. He doesn't expect that cutback.
Well, they say they're part of the field, but there's not many other parts of the field that stand up at 6 foot tall.
Shout out to the referees. Always a referee shortage here in the last decade,
absolutely.
and hats off to all of them. Again, fans, check out NHIA.com if you want to become an official today.
Ooh, that looked like
Salyards.
a pass.
Yeah, he wanted to go for it. Hesitation, gets right side, and gets across the 30. We'll see where they mark him down. That's close to the sticks. So they're going to mark him short. He stepped out at the 27.
That's going to be one to keep your eye on. They had Sam Grondin, number 5, coming wide open across the middle. I don't know if he was looking for the deeper route, but he definitely had him if he saw him. So Bobcats want to stay home on that one, make sure they're keeping coverage.
3 minutes to go, third quarter. Again, Grondin has been targeted earlier. One of those top dynamic players, both running back and receiving this season for the Saints. 2nd and 2. Birch in motion. Fallback handoff and no gain, maybe a yard depending where they spot on that carry for Avery.
You can tell how good the fakes are. Emmett Nosselman, right in the middle, ran right by the ball carrier and went for Scourin. I mean, again, if it's hard to see on TV, the play action and the faking in the back of the St. Thomas offense is pretty impressive.
Yeah, pretty much. This is what we're seeing from our booth, the GoPro just in front of us here. So hats off to Glenn Mouseoff upstairs, helping us out once again as he's done all season, running our camera for the team and for Pemmy Baker TV. Quarterback keeper diving it up for a Saints first down with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, probably the 2 most important yards of the afternoon for Scourin right there. Sets them up just outside of our red zone here. The way this drive's looking, they're going to probably chew up the rest of the third quarter, and unless the Bobcats dig deep here, it's probably going to be hoping to hold them for 3 points, but their offensive line right now controlling this game.
And you can see Plymouth's defense is tired. The way they're standing between plays don't really look that energized at the moment. Scourin under center. Handoff, right side. Everyone thought it was Avery. Gets to the secondary. It's not him.
And again, they had him right there at the line of scrimmage. He was able to bounce off and get loose. Bobcats just not wrapping up right now.
2nd down and 2, ball on the 15.
Yeah, it was Salyards, number 7, with that carry.
Well, Bobcats, they get stopped in that 4th down. Your momentum's gone. They've got to find it right now. They've got to start fighting.
Under a minute. waiting for it. Oh, good job, Jackson Rainier, keeping eyes on the ball, and a big-time stop on the defense, and that's what Plymouth needed.
That is stereotypical set-the-edge defense. Came up, broke down, waited on it, didn't fight. He knew what his job was. His job is contain. He doesn't bite on this fake inside. He stays home. There it is. That is perfect defense by Jackson Rainier.
Again, we've seen so much of that trickery inside. He knew it wasn't going to be that initial handoff, and boy, was he timing that one up.
And hopefully that's the momentum that this defense needs here. You can put them down on a 3rd and long, 3rd and 7. We're going to run to the end of the 3rd quarter here and bring the momentum into the 4th.
So the Saints will run the clock off here. Again, as you said, 3rd and 7 for the Saints as we head to the 4th quarter, knotted at 14. A barn burner here in Dover. Plymouth trying to keep a hold on that top spot in the East Conference and hopefully a number 2 seed. Saints trying to jump them in the standings with a big win here today. It's all going to come down to the next 12 minutes. You're watching Bobcat football here on Penny Baker TV. Fourth quarter we go. Dan Salzer alongside Greg Sanborn. So glad you could join us here on Penny Baker TV, channel 1302 in the Plymouth area on Spectrum Cable. Also live here on YouTube and Facebook. We go to the 4th. St. Thomas threatening here. It is 3rd and 7. They're inside the red zone at the 20 after that stop by Jackson Rainier a moment ago.
Yeah, I don't know what St. Thomas's kicking game looks like, but defense stands up here, keeps them in a 4th and long. They get a decision coming up. I would assume this close they're going to probably go for it. It looks like the sticks are opposite. They're probably going to have a little trouble adjusting those again. It's not 3rd and 3, it's 3rd and 7.
Yeah, there's a lot of confusion. Yeah, there we go. Now we're moving down.
St. Thomas has the ball, 3rd and 7 on the 20.
Even though they're making it 3rd and 10. Oh, boy. Yeah, now the back judge will come in and try to help fix things out. If you aren't familiar with how the sticks work, there is a little tag for the markers at the 5-yard increments so they can line up those sticks correctly. That helps the chain gang when they have the spots with the officials. Set to go to start the 4th here. St. Thomas looking to get back out ahead after a big stop against Plymouth on their last drive. Handoff right side, cut up field by Birch. Gets into the secondary. He'll be hit at about the 16.
Yeah, they're going to keep them short, so 4th and short, you're guaranteed St. Thomas is going for it here.
By far.
A little surprised here. They ran a direct handoff there. No fake inside, where the misdirection's really been hurting Bobcats here this drive. I was definitely expect to see some misdirection here.
But do you feel as though, like, traditionally you run the ball to set up the pass, to set up that? Now you're doing the trickery to set up that direct handoff and try to keep Plymouth off balance.
Yeah, it works both ways, absolutely, yep.
4th and 3 for the Saints. Bobcats trying to return the favor and get a turnover on downs. Scowron rolls out left, throws. Is it complete? Incomplete. And a turnover on downs. And Plymouth defense holds, and that is absolutely what they needed.
Great play idea from St. Thomas. You've been running it. You've been working. You hit that play action. Jackson Rainier again out on Scowron. Messes up his throwing lanes. Makes him kind of float it out there instead of just throwing a dart. Just out of the reach of number 14 for St. Thomas, Andrew Rodriguez. So great defensive stop. Bobcats returning the favor. Now you got the momentum back. 4th quarter. Time to drive down the football field.
So nearly a full quarter to work with 11-10 remaining here in the ball game, and you can almost consider this, Greg, an instant classic here this season. By far the best game that we have really seen in a competition-wise for Plymouth this year.
Yeah, I mean, equal mistakes both sides. It's been clean, not a lot of flags thrown. It's a good football game.
Hand off near side. Keene getting in the secondary. He's still in bounds. And he'll be pushed out at midfield in a big run of 35 yards for Gabe Keene.
That's a great run by Gabe. You teach these guys to get to the edge and get upfield. And reads this block out here, cuts up and then cuts back out. That's a great run. Tiptoes down the sideline. Great just awareness of the sideline by Gabe Keene going down the sideline right there.
And it's Skowron delivering the hit that pushed him out of bounds there as he's working in the secondary.
And I believe that was Foisey again out here making that block here. He can't speak enough about the day he's out here. I mean, not a lot of passes thrown, obviously, but his blocking alone has been stellar today.
So we'll say Keene stepped out at the 48, first down for the Bobcats. Pitch back, high pitch, Keene able to keep it under control. Diamond favoring himself. He might come out of this game. Something happened on that handoff. But Gabe Keene gets the first down across midfield out to about the 40. And, ooh.
Yeah, Luke looks all right. He's definitely gimpy. Chris not looking over the sideline for a backup. He's going to stay in there. As far as the play, same play other side. Pitch works one way, let's pitch it the other.
I wonder if he just got his foot stomped on.
Yeah, I'm wondering
or something.
It was stepped on someone's ankle, maybe rolled it a little bit, but he looked pretty good running back out into the field there. Keene's coming off favoring a foot. Probably just needs a little bit of a break after 60 yards of running.
Keep him busy out there. First and 10 at the 41 of the Saints. Plymouth finding momentum here after the stop. Patridge on his first carry of the day. Gets out to the 35. Gain of 7.
Yep, methodical drive. That's what you want right down the field. The clock is continuing to run. Yeah, Gabe stepped out in this early pitch, but you're almost at 10.5 to go. Luke looks pretty good running back out there. I don't see any limp now, so whatever it was minor.
So Plymouth trying to regain the lead here in the fourth quarter. Plymouth trying to move to 7-1. Saints trying to improve to 6-2. Handoff up the middle as Patridge tries to give a little deception on the handoff.
Yeah, they had
it's actually setting off the smoke bombs again off to our right.
They had him wrapped up right at the line of scrimmage. You got a couple. You give up about 60 pounds between him and Thorne, so a little more effective with him running that. Gabe Keene coming back in now, not limping, so that's a good sign.
He'll sub out Patridge, so see if they'll do the speed sweep or something. Plymouth just trying to find that edge.
Yeah. Stay in bounds, keep the clock running. You got 3rd and 4, 2 downs here to get this first down. No way they're punting here, not this late.
Feels like a playoff game here tonight for sure. Here in week 8, handoff on the sweep. Gabe Keene trying to turn the corner. Has nowhere to go. Great blocking at the line for St. Thomas, and it will be 4th down.
Yeah, picked up half of what he needed there. This fourth quarter, this late third, and in the fourth quarter, the defense has showed up for both teams. St. Thomas had a stop last drive, looking for another one here. Plymouth answered, so here we go. Defense wins championships. Defense wins big games like this, so let's see what they can do here in 4th down.
4th and 2, need to get to the 31.
Robbie Thorne is on the sideline here.
Keene in the backfield, same with Ben Valenti. Now Keene will split out here to the near side in this formation. Now he'll go in motion. Diamond stepping back to throw off his back foot, finds his target, and it's a first down for Jackson Rainier at the 25. His first completion on the pass here tonight.
Off the play action, that ball took a long time to come down. I was watching the St. Thomas cornerback coming up closer and closer, but it finally dropped in the Jackson's hands.
And it was Salyards off the edge there, putting the pressure on Luke Diamond. Diamond wasn't expecting to see him there, completely on his back foot. I mean, his left leg was in the air when he threw that. That's why it hung forever, but nevertheless, better be lucky than good sometimes, and a first down for Plymouth.
Yeah, and Trent coming off the edge, he left that halfback wide open in the flat, so he had really 2 options there, but either way, it comes out in first down.
Thought there was motion on the line. Nevertheless, Keene cuts back upfield on the handoff, and gets out to about the 20. I'll mark him at the 21, so a gain of 4 in that carry.
That was a great job by Tim Avery setting the edge there. He was not letting Gabe out on the sideline again. It turned it up and still able to get 4 or 5 yards.
2nd down and 6.
This is one heck of a football game. One of the most exciting ones that I've had the pleasure of calling in my short time here with Pemmy Baker TV.
Yeah, it's nice seeing a tight football game right down to the fourth quarter. I mean, it's nice to come down and have a good week and go up 40-0, get these younger kids in, but it's nice every once in a while these seniors and your starters are in here the whole football game fighting.
And again, you need this. We talked about it. It feels like a playoff game. You need this setting up here heading into November in that first round on November 4th. Just north of 7 minutes to go. Rainier. Hand off to him, and he'll get stopped at the line of scrimmage. Nearly got hit in the backfield.
Yeah, I was going to say he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage. They were right in the backfield, right at the snap. And like you said, playoff atmosphere, right? You know, we're sitting here watching Souhegan, Pelham, what's happening over there. You're sure that everybody else is watching this here, too. You know, what the seeding's going to be. Everybody's circled this game. They know what's going on, just as much here as we do over there.
Okay, absolutely beautiful night for football here in New Hampshire. The Seacoast, yes, it's foggy, but pretty warm in comparison.
Like what, 8-9 years now?
But couldn't ask for a better game here this week. Plymouth. Split twins. Handoff up the middle. And close to the 15.
I think they're going to give them that first down. If not, it's going to be just short.
Nope,
they're waving them on.
So first down for Plymouth. Trying to see, was that Gabe Keane on the carry?
I think it was, 23, yeah.
Oh, Ben Valenti on the carry.
Valenti, yeah.
Did not hit the replay button, so I could go back and look at it. Nevertheless, Plymouth, just as you said, chewing up the clock, Greg.
Yeah, nearing 6 minutes here, and this is a measurable game for Chris. No matter how this comes out, you look down at the scores of Plymouth's games this year, 42, 35, 35, 48, even the loss 6-49, so you're not seeing a lot of fight in that game as far as fourth quarter. Can your team stay in there in a fourth quarter tight game and find a way to win a football game?
We'll have the answer in under 6 minutes. The Bargman lined up wide here near side. Handoff, and a cutback for Keene. And protection coming in the secondary for St. Thomas. And a stop there. Loss of about 2 or 3 on the play.
Yeah, St. Thomas has seen enough of that motion. They're blitzing the way that motion's going, and they are in the backfield just about the time he's getting that handoff. So early cut in the backfield gets him back to the line of scrimmage and nothing more.
Great job by Nick Kakopoulos, number 64, who made that stop. Souhegan starting to come back a little bit, 26-14 in that game down in Pelham. In motion, Valenti had a hole, gets inside the 10, and a gain of about 7 or 8 on that carry, and it makes it manageable here on third down.
Yeah, and a great play call. We just talked about they're keying that motion. They're sending that guy when they see it. So, hey, we're going to fake that. We're going to get it right to the middle off the backside. Great run there. You know, we were talking about Plymouth and how many games they have or have not been in this year for 4 quarters. And I'm looking at St. Thomas. They've got 4 games like this on their schedule. They were tight games. They had to play the whole game and fight. They know what these games are. Plymouth hasn't experienced it. So far they're handling it as we're getting close to 4 minutes. We'll see how it finishes up.
Plymouth's break the huddle. It's 3rd and 4. Again, motion in. Quarterback keeper. Diamond getting some blockers. Rainier, and he's in for a Bobcat touchdown.
That was saved right in the backfield. You're going to see on this replay, right from the start, they got pressure right up the middle on this motion, and he picks up the blitzer that just gives time for Luke Diamond. He almost has him in the backfield. Great pickup right there. Takes down the running back. Luke rolls out. Nothing there. Great job receivers turning and blocking, but that started right in the backfield of that motion man getting that blitzer. That was a great pickup.
St. Thomas thought they had him. I thought they had the stop, but Plymouth gets the touchdown, and Mansuk goes for the extra point attempt. 2 for 2 tonight. Make it 3 for 3. And Plymouth leading 21-14 with 3:51 to go.
That extra point a little more exciting than the previous ones with good pressure from St. Thomas up the middle.
go with 2 points after.
Yeah, so Luke Diamond is definitely not injured after we saw him shaken up earlier in this drive.
I'm looking down the sideline. Everybody in the Bobcat sideline's cheering, except for Chris is still yelling and coaching, always finding something to teach here, right? It was good. It can be better. We don't want to risk an extra point being missed right in that situation. So here you go. The scene is set. You got 3 minutes and 50 to go, 21-14. Bobcats defense is going to win it, or St. Thomas's offense. And honestly, if you're the Bobcats, you want your defense on the field. So perfect scenario for you here.
Hey, talk about Chris coaching. Very Chuck Linehan-esque in his illustrious career. Finch, join the excitement at Penny Baker TV as we gear up for winter sports coverage. We're seeking enthusiastic volunteers for roles like commentators, video producers, and camera operators. Ready to be a part of the action? Contact us today and be a part of our team. And a good stop here on the return at the 20. And Plymouth feeling it right now.
Yeah, Manso had to get the extra point, come back on the kickoff, run down and make the tackle.
So, both teams with all 3 timeouts here to go. 3:46 remaining in regulation. And the Saints need to drive 79 yards. But, you've got the speed with Scourin. He's got the arm we've seen here tonight. Plymouth's got to be ready, got to stay focused.
You got to keep it in front of you. You can't lose track of Scourin. He's the best athlete on that side of the ball. Keep him in front of you. Fumbled snap.
Oh, it's in the field, and St. Thomas able to fall on it for second down. Maybe a loss of 1, but that could have been almost game over.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a heartbeat skip for all the fans over here. Able to retain it, only lost a yard there. And again, with St. Thomas' explosiveness, all right, that's only 2nd and 11. They can manage this. Obviously not punting from here on out no matter where they're on the field, so. So loud as I've heard the Bobcat sideline here the whole game.
3:07 and counting. Healy, the lone here on the near, actually a slot receiver, but you've got him out wide. Hasn't really been targeted tonight. Avery will split out to the left. Empty backfield. Scourin being tracked down, and he'll throw at the feet of Avery, so it will not be intentional grounding.
Well, that's Zach Carter in there, had a chance with Brennan Johnson. You can see Zach Carter slapping himself in the helmet. He wanted him. Just outran him, but I don't think Carter is going to keep up with Scourin in a foot race, but good attempt there.
Especially the fourth quarter compared to the first, but, foaming at the mouth for that sack. He had eyes probably the size of pancakes.
So the clock stopping with that incomplete pass, but just over 2:50 to go. 3rd and 11 now for St. Thomas. This is dangerous. It's a passing down, but Scourin's still got the legs. You cannot let him get clear of that pocket.
This could be the game. Scourin drops back to pass on the option. Pump fakes, trying to roll out, and falls incomplete. And it's 4th and 11 with 2:45 remaining.
That is great coverage by the Bobcats downfield, where that has been a weak point all season. They had their men locked up. Scourin had no place to go with the ball. Lyman jumping up, getting their hands up as soon as he cocked back to throw that football. Great overall defense by the Bobcats on that play.
But hats off to Scourin as a senior not to force that into pressure and live to survive another down.
Right, yeah. You throw a pick there, force into the coverage, you give up a down. You've got 4 chances. Smart play, throw it away. Here you go right now. St. Thomas going to take a timeout here and think about it.
Rightfully so. Their first charge timeout here tonight. I apologize for our microphones being pretty hot. We're trying to fix that for you.
Well, I think the conversation over there, if it's not there, the way Scourin's running the football, I don't doubt him running back and forth, making people miss and picking up 10 yards. Obviously you want the ball in his hands. It's going to be fun to see what they drum up here on 4th and 11. They got to have it.
And fans, tune in tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. This week's episode of This Week in Plymouth. Stay up to date on all the news, notes, and information happening around the town. All the talking points from town meetings, also the upcoming events. Heading towards the holiday season. Have you started shopping yet, Greg?
Oh, well, I figured I'd start that right around December 20th. Wait for those late deals.
You never know what you're going to find. 2:45, 4th and 11. Here's the game. Plymouth in that prevent defense. Souhegan needed to get to wow. St. Thomas needing to get to their own 32. Here we go. Play action. Scourin going to air it out on a seam, and it falls incomplete. Turnover on downs. St. Thomas fans wanted something, but it looked like Grondin just ran into the defender.
Yeah,
incidental contact.
I think their feet got more tangled up than anything. That's a close call. It's a heartbreak for St. Thomas because if their feet don't get locked up there, he's got a chance to go up and high point that football. Great throw by Scourin.
But not over yet. St. Thomas, 2 timeouts. They could still force Plymouth into maybe a field goal and have some time with no timeouts to get downfield, airing it out. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, with Manso's range, you can't give up any kind of a first down. It's going to be over if you do. Keep them here. Chris is telling his guys, do not get out of bounds.
But I don't think, and correct me if I'm wrong, that Mansu's made a field goal attempt this season. I think it's all been extra points.
Yeah,
I can't remember if he has.
I don't recall seeing one this season.
So we've seen this leg in warm-ups about 35, 40 yards, but he hasn't done it in a game. Handoff, Ben Valenti gets across the 15 and some more down to about the 10, and it's going to be 1st and goal Plymouth.
With that's pretty much concealed. Even with the 2 timeouts, they're going to be able to run down this clock. Be interesting to see if Chris tries to score here or just keep running it and running the clock. Clock is stopped now, and now they're rolling it as they get the chain set.
This is really just the stick, the marker. Since it's 1st and goal at the 8. Plymouth coming out in a normal scheme, not victory formation. Goal line stance here at the 8. Handoff, Valenti bounces out to the right side, gets off of 2 tackles, and gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, just keep it in the middle, keep it safe. I don't like what I saw Valenti there. He, 1 arm on the ball. That's the one thing that can really hurt you right here. To keep 2 hands on the ball, go down at first contact. No reason to fight for those extra yards right here. You're running the clock. Ball security is all you're preaching right now. As we're winding down here, it looks like Plymouth is going to be the tie. This is a heck of a football game from both teams.
Yeah, take nothing away from St. Thomas. They have been dominant, really had pretty much the best chance to win the game through the first 3 quarters, and Plymouth has found some life.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That first quarter was definitely, you got to give it to St. Thomas. Third quarter, Plymouth looked like they had a dominating third quarter, and a missed pass by Luke Diamond down the field really changed the tone of that third quarter. St. Thomas comes back in the first part of this 4th quarter and really fights, gets the ball, scores, ties things up, and the momentum was theirs for the first couple minutes here in the 4th quarter, but Plymouth being able to hold on here, looks like so far.
As Plymouth will take their first charge timeout, both teams with 2 remaining. Again, fans, tune in next Saturday afternoon, the Bobcats' regular season finale as they host Sanborn on Senior Day. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. with coverage starting at 12:45. Watch it right here live on Pemmy Baker TV. Again, we'll also wait to find out where the boys soccer team for the Bobcats will be playing in the first round of the Division II tournament on Tuesday. We will hopefully be bringing you live coverage of that as well. It will be on the road as Plymouth kind of sneaks in, depending on where the placement is, that 9, 10, 11 spot. But here we go, 1:17 remaining. 2nd and 7. Diamond, quick handoff here on the cutback by, is that Thorne? No.
Nope.
That was Eli Crane, number 40. And a timeout taken by St. Thomas to stop the clock with 1:06 to go.
Bringing up 3rd and 5 here. Also, you're going to be, happy to say, you're going to be live tomorrow
yes.
at Plymouth High School.
Throw that plug in there. Thank you. I forgot. Yeah. We're going to be covering the 9U and 11U Huskies football games. And the 9U are playing – no, the 9U are playing who?
9U's playing Salem.
There we go. And then the 11U, your team is playing Bedford.
Bedford, yep. Salem coming in undefeated for the 9U division. The 9U kids have a chance to make the playoffs. They got to win that game. It's going to be a tall task, but they've really brought it on the second half. Those young kids have almost all of them came up from flag, so they're doing well. And same with the 11U. They're going to knock off Bedford, and we get our playoff bid if we do. So it's going to be a beautiful day for football and last home game of the season. So.
Again, we're live right here on Pemmy Baker TV, channel 1302, and on YouTube. We'll put 1:09 on the clock. 3rd and 5. Crane and Rainier in motion to the right side. Handoff. Thorne cuts back up towards the goal line, and he'll be down at the 1.
St. Thomas can't stop the clock here, so you're going to.
I think they go.
No, I think they called it on that the first down, the second down.
Oh, okay.
Play. So, yeah.
So we'll take that one right off here. I missed that. My apologies.
Chris is either going to run this down and take a timeout, or they're going to snap it. But looks like he's going to let that clock run right down.
And see if Plymouth just decides to take that kneel here after the timeout. You got the win. You're at the 1. Yes, as a player, you always want to get another touchdown, another score, but
I don't see a kneel here only because the clock will stop if he does. So probably going to run and try and put it in. You don't want to let it run an offensive play.
And quarterback keeper as Thorne tries to push Diamond in. And a touchdown for Plymouth.
That's a great play call either way because I'm watching the clock run chewing right down as the referees are trying to figure that out. So either way, it chewed off an extra 10 seconds on that play clock. But big push from the backs, pushing Luke across there.
Coke machine with a big shove there on Luke Diamond. Pelham now up 33-14 in our update, thanks to my father here behind us. And Sue for the extra point.
Good.
And it's good. For a second, my eyes deceived me. I thought it hit up off the upright. But a 28-4 lead for Plymouth with 6 seconds to go.
Yeah, the clock ran on that extra point try, so I wouldn't be shocked if they put 9.8 back up there. That's what it was up there with the touchdown, as that's an untimed down.
See what the officials do, but the fact that it's a 2-score game now.
Great win by Plymouth. You know, you're traveling down here. It's a long ride, right? You come down here on a Friday night in the fog, the drizzle. You know, it's an eerie Halloween night. You love it. St. Thomas coming here. They know it's clear what they needed to do, right? It was right there in front of them. Senior night. They had all kinds of motivation to come out here and put their best foot forward, and they did. They played a great football game. But Plymouth just a little bit better, a little bit more complete team, especially up on front.
Again, Plymouth will hang on to that top spot at the moment, heading into the final week of the season in the East Conference of Division II, trying to secure at least the number 2 seed in next month's tournament. Onside kick just to make St. Thomas touch it, and the clock will. The clock was on and off for a few times. Now they'll say 3 seconds, but St. Thomas will have the ball at their own 46 here.
I don't know if you can tell now on the TV or not, but the rain is falling.
Ah, yes.
It held off just long enough.
So Plymouth will improve to 7-1 on the season. St. Thomas will fall to 5-3.
Sanborn coming up, and they
have had some big games. We don't have a score for. Well, yeah, they're playing tonight against Laconia at home against Laconia, but
yeah, if Sanborn wins that game, they're coming ready for a battle next week. It's going to be a heck of a Bobcat Nation day.
Bobcat country. Sanborn final 23-20 over Laconia. As we have a final here. As I hit the extra button, 28-14 the final score from St. Thomas. But oh boy, week 9. Throw everything into the fire. It's going to be absolute chaos around the state.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's going to be tiebreakers in play, points being scored, everybody trying to set themselves up for the playoff. Again, can't say it enough. Plymouth coming in, having a 4-quarter battle. 28-14 makes it look different. That's a tight football game the whole way. They had the fight the entire game. hats off to both the teams, St. Thomas and Bobcats. That's a great football game.
Oh, fantastic. Here, St. Thomas will try to regroup next week against Guilford Belmont. And again, as we mentioned, Plymouth will host Sanborn for the regular season finale. That's going to do it for us here tonight. So glad you could join us. Final score from Dover, New Hampshire for the final time. It's Plymouth Regional 28, St. Thomas Aquinas 14. We'll see you next Saturday here on Pemmy Baker TV.